All right, guys, I got my man Myron in the chair. It's been a while since he's been on the channel. I saw him at Starbucks, offered him a freebie for Thanksgiving, and he's sitting here. So you can see he's got some growth. He told me to do whatever I wanted, so we're just gonna get into it and see what it do. All right, we're gonna start off, we're gonna go ahead and comb his hair out. So I'm gonna run the pick through it, get it out to its longest length before we come in and start cutting the sides. All right, so you can see he's got some nice length. He's got a nice round shape here, and one of my favorite cuts I ever did on him was a burst fade with a nice sharp line all the way around. So I'm gonna just leave this, we're gonna curl sponge it. I'm gonna cut the sides down. We'll go ahead and do a burst fade around the ears. And we're gonna start off with the number 2, cutting up into the top. All right, I'm gonna come in with my number 2. These are the Babyliss FX1 Gold FX edition, whatever you wanna call it. I just dropped an unboxing on them. Starting with the number 2, I just wanna start to create this burst shape. So you can see coming through as I get to the back, I'm just gonna come in and out, get this whole side cut down to a 2, and then we can come in and start the fade process. All right, you guys can see there's a little bit of a ridge here. I combed it back out. I don't want it to be too heavy, so I'm gonna come in with the 2 open. I'm gonna go with the grain and just soften that up. Same thing back here. Just wanna make sure that it kind of flows in. It is gonna be curl sponge, so we're not gonna see that like heavy edge. But I do wanna comb it out and make it heavy so I can make sure that it's nice and blended, and then we will come in and curl sponge it after we're done with the whole fade. All right, guys, we're gonna round off the back. I'm gonna basically come where his hairline is here, and we're gonna create our first guideline. So I'm just gonna go ahead and edge this up a little bit. I may come in and clean it up later. It's a little bit long. We're just gonna work our way up. As we get up to here, I'm gonna basically just exaggerate the line around the ear. See, I have my middle finger on his cheek. I'm gonna pivot around, and that's gonna create our burst fade shape. I also want to mimic this shape up here, so I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. We do want to leave some C-cut. Go ahead and bald all this out, come in with the shaver, get it down to skin, and we'll start our first step going up. All right, now we're gonna come in with the lever all the way open. These are the Gold FX FX1s. Obviously, as we get towards the back, we're gonna taper this down a little bit. So it's gonna get a little bit smaller. We're not gonna cut into all this length back here. So just about right here, you can see my open guideline. We wanna follow that shape all the way through on every step. So we'll go ahead and set that in with the lever open. We can start to work it out from the bottom. All right, now we're gonna come in clipper closed. As we get to the back, we're gonna use a little more corner of the clipper because we don't want to, on a round shape, we wanna make sure that it stays round. So you see I'm using the corner. Up here in the front, we can use it a little bit flatter. And I can already see the bald guideline's a little sharp. I am gonna come in and clean that up. But now we'll go to the second notch, work that up a little bit higher. Third notch, a little bit higher. I'm just gonna detail this section, and then we'll work our way up to the open one. Now we're gonna come in with the 1 all the way open. We're gonna go up another about 3/4 of an inch. So it should start to tie in. This is a 2. His hair is growing forward. So you see I'm brushing it, and I'm gonna cut against the direction that it grows. We'll get this 1 guideline in, and then we'll start to connect that to the top and finish up by working our way back down and taking out that last line. You guys can see not a huge guideline right here that's left from the 1. Because of his texture, it makes it a little bit easier, but I'm just gonna go in and make sure that it looks nice. So this is a 1.5 all the way closed. And the Babyliss scars, the 1.5 closed is the sweet spot between the 1 open and the 2. Just gonna make sure this all ties together. A little bit dark right here I don't like, so we're just gonna hit this. Basically looking for a nice clean blend aside from this bottom line that we have left. Then we'll come in with the one guard closed and start to take that last line out. All right, so you guys can see it looks pretty solid from here down. We do have a dark area here. Just to be safe, I'm gonna start with the one open again. Shouldn't be cutting anything. And kind of feel my way through, know where I'm at, and then once that's good, I can go ahead and close it up. We'll come in underneath that, and again, we know that the half guard is what we're gonna need to take that line out. So I'm just gonna start to soften it up, then we'll continue to work our way down until we're happy with this blend. Now the half guard, half open, we're gonna start to bring this all the way together. I can already see we're gonna have to do a little bit more in this open section right here, just to balance this all the way out, but you guys can see the blend is coming together. One thing I'd like to do too is we'll move on, we'll do the other side, we'll go ahead and line it up, and we can detail it at the very end if we feel like we need to. All right guys, we're gonna do the same exact steps on this side, so you guys just follow along and we'll get back together when we get to the lineup. All right guys, we're gonna go ahead and round the back. I already started where I started both of my guidelines, so I'm just gonna visualize. We don't wanna take off a ton, but it looks like it's grown back from a taper, so it is a little bit light at the bottom. I'm just gonna work it around, try to leave it as low as possible. Leave this nice and round, then we're gonna hit the front with some hairspray before we come in and line it up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and curl this up before we move on to the front hairline. Gonna hit it with the curl sponge all the way around. We'll hit his front hairline with some spritz to hold the hair still. And then we'll come in and line up the front. You guys can check out the finished product. All right guys, so I'm gonna leave most of the curls. So I'm gonna use the comb to hold his hair up. Just gonna brush down the short hair underneath. Then I'm gonna hit it with spritz, let it dry. Probably just hit it with a cold shot to let it dry. We'll come in and give him a line up on his front edge. Might throw a little fibers in here just to make it pop, and you guys can check it out. All right, so I'm looking at his hairline. It's a little bit lighter on this side than this side, so I'm gonna start over here so that I can get, this is where the line's gonna have to be, right? So I'm gonna start here, work towards the middle. And remember, I brushed down, kind of like bangs. I brushed it down. I want to put the line at the furthest point down that I can. So I don't want to go up any further than I have to. Work my way from left to right towards the middle. Once we get to that corner, we will hit our vertical bar. And then I can throw a little enhancement on here and make it a little extra sharp. We'll lean him back, put the razor on it. All right, guys, I'm gonna use my Klutch card. My man Myron here was just talking about seeing it on YouTube and how cool that is, because he's been coming to me for a long time since I made this thing up. So we're gonna use it on him today. I'm just gonna dust the fibers light. You can see it's got the curve for the C cup. I will come back in after applying some fibers and edge it up again to make sure that there's no fibers on his skin or anything. Just gonna dust it on to get it a little extra sharp for y'all. You know, he might step out, go to Starbucks when he gets out of here, or Target or something. Just dust them on light. You see I can come back here where the curls kind of pulled it up and you can see through it. Kind of fill in where it's light just to make it look all the way solid. I'll go ahead and do it on the other side. And then we'll line him up one more time, hit it with a razor, and you guys can check it out. These are the Tomb45 mocha fibers. He's got pretty dark hair, but sometimes when I use the black, it just looks a little bit too dark. So I wanted to use mocha. It is more or less a mixture of the black and the brown. So it's kind of an in-between. You can see it's matching super nice. I'll be able to blend this in, and when we line it up, it's gonna get even more sharp here in a second. All right guys, we got him laid back. I'm just gonna use the blade, pull it straight back to the hairline. And the goal here is to get some of the fibers and hairspray off of his forehead and also make the line super sharp. So I'm just pulling the blade to the line. This is the blue Tomb45 triple cartridge razor. It is fully exposed, so I can see the blade sticking all the way out. That just allows me to see all the way up in, especially the corners, or if I'm doing designs, I can really see where the blade is. And we do make this as a triple cartridge, so you guys can use it with the blade more hidden, where there's no blade sticking out. Definitely a lot safer. I prefer to use it exposed. You guys will see as I hit this corner, I can see exactly where the blade is. I can go right into the corner, get it where I want it, nice and easy. Now we'll hit the vertical bar, keep the skin tight, pull the blade all the way to the corner again. Then we'll come down to the bottom edge. Boom, nice and sharp. And then as we round the C cup, we just stretch the skin. All right, guys, same thing on this side. We worked all the way back to the middle, spun him around. Now we will work across this side, same exact thing. I'm gonna sit him up and you guys can check this thing out.
All right, guys, that is it for the cut. Little burst fade, nice sharp lineup with enhancements, rounded in the back. Good to see my guy Myron again. He said, you know what, I forgot how good this cut looked. We got him in there for Thanksgiving. He's ready to go. If you guys like it, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of the finished cut. And if you guys want to see another video featuring Myron from way back, click right there and check that one out.